Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name's Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Brandon.
Hello.
We're here talking about games and things.
Games and things.
Yep. What's on the agenda today?
Uh,
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Hell yeah.
Well, no, it's Hello Kitty.
Hello, yeah.
Uh,
I had played it none before when you talked to me. How long do you think I played it
5
now?
minutes ago?
No. Like
Oh,
last week.
Oh, 20 hours.
18.1. So close.
I was pretty close. Actually, that's
pretty close. Pretty close.
In the grand scheme of video games and like how things round, that's pretty good, actually.
Only putting that much time in it, or what?
No, I'm just saying, like, because I don't know. I feel like with
time?
you, when we're guessing, like, your times could be like pretty wild. So the fact that I'm within like an hour and a half of your actual game time,
Yeah,
not too bad.
So let me explain why you are.
Okay.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm just gonna go first because I actually want to talk about this game. I think this game's really fucking good. First of all, I want to go ahead and throw that out there. This game is a lot like Animal Crossing, except you've got a lot of puzzles and other such things as well. So yeah, it's super cool. I actually really enjoy this game. So the way it works is essentially every day you can give you can give all of your friends 3 gifts. And giving your friends gifts based on, like Hello Kitty, Kurumi, Cinnamoroll, the Sanrio characters. Every time when you give them gifts, they go up in rank, and every time they go up in level and your friendship level increases, you're able to unlock more quests. And the quests that you're given are over the period of certain amounts of days, real life days, because it does the Animal Crossing thing where you can only do so many things in a day before you have to wait for the next day because of time situations or because of not being able to give any more gifts that day and being able to get them to the next rank so that you can go on to the next quest and so on and so forth. So far, I have like completely unlocked the entirety of the island that exists to my knowledge at this point in time.
Okay.
And I've also found things such as the ability to go underwater and swim underwater now. We created a machine based off finding these ancient artifacts that allowed the different people that live in the Hello Kitty Island place, which is basically just a resort on an island where everyone on vacation, but their plane crashed. So a lot of I'm serious. This is the actual plot of the game. Okay. Their plane crashed.
Very topical, but yeah.
So a lot of like luggage got misplaced, and part of the story is you have to hunt down everyone's luggage to help them find it and everything. And like you may have know this character Retsuko from Agretzko, which is a Netflix anime that is also Sanrio, but it's more adult style because she's like a rundown office worker that just wants to sing metal on her days off and that sort of thing, but she never has time to herself, and it's about trying to form relationships and also finding who you are in your adult life and not just specifically letting work get in the way of you being yourself as a person and draining you and ruining everything and whatnot. And it's a very good show. That's a very, very good show. I would say that's like for the older people to watch, and is definitely worth watching because it is a much more mature show. It does handle a lot more mature topics and everything. She's in this game as well, and like she's lost her luggage, which has her laptop, that in case her boss needed to get a hold of her, but you have to like hunt down her laptop and shit like that. She also lost her coveted microphone, which allows her to belt out her heavy metal ballads that she likes to belt out to like blow off steam and whatnot. And it's very silly, and it's a lot of the elements of the Sanrio characters all put into a world that's similar to something that's like a combination between like Zelda and Animal Crossing. There's no combat, but there are puzzles, a la like Legend of Zelda puzzles, that sort of thing, like you would see in like dungeons and stuff like that. And it's really, really fun. It's something that's a lot of fun to check in with. Like every single day and play a few hours, like 4 hours, 3 hours here and there or whatever, and then hop off and then do it the next day and so on. And I did that for like a whole week, just hopping on, hopping off. It is like a $40 game, but you do get a lot of content in this game because it also has elements like like celebrations, like for instance the birthday cinema roll is on the 6th of March, but you can take that whole week and do the quest for cinema roll, which is to give them a birthday party. But that character is known for being hardworking and not and like very selfless, so they don't want something that's completely themed around them. They're like, I'd rather just spend time doing my job and helping out friends instead. So then the quest is like you getting together with the rest of the people on the island and trying to figure out some way to celebrate their birthday without imposing on them and making them feel like they're being a bother to everyone else. And there's like little quests like that where you spend time when it's actually the character's birthday with them and like try to find some way to celebrate it the way they see fit and whatnot. And then there's also celebrations like spring celebration, winter celebration, that sort of thing, like you get with Animal Crossing as well. And every single day you have new clothing items and new furniture items that you can buy and decorate your house with. It's really fun. And then there's the whole, you can bring in characters that didn't start on the island with you by making them like a house from the like rundown houses and like rebuilding them and that sort of thing, and putting furniture in it that is kind of like their feng shui, what they like, so that they'll come move to the island and like join you. And then you could do their quest, because once they become a visitor that's like staying on the island with you like everyone else, which will take a while, you have to like actually interact with them, get the home the way they want it, to get them to come first to visit, and then get them to move in and stay with you and the rest of the characters that are there on the island. Once you do that, then you can unlock their quest, and then their quest you learn stuff about them and so on and so forth. It's a very, very fun game that has a lot to it. A lot more than I expected it to have, which has really made me enjoy my time with it quite a bit, to be completely honest. I've really been liking this game. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds different than I would have expected it to be, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it is very different in some cases, but then in other cases, it's got a lot of the same thing. Like you can capture like different bugs and critters to like put in a museum sort of thing, but they call it a nature habitat. You have things like let's see, there was one that I remember where we had to like travel through a haunted house and like solve all the puzzles to get through the haunted house, and then we were able to get like some kind of artifact that allowed us to unlock something. And there's a lot there, but it's really fun and really enjoyable, and it's not like stressful at all. It's just very chill like vibes, and similar to Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley or something like that. But there's no combat. Again, it's mostly just puzzles and collecting more so than like combat and stuff. So yeah, okay. Very fun. I've almost put 20 hours into it, and like I said, it's something that's really enjoyable to just hop in and out of every day and check in on it. And I've been liking it a lot.
Nice.
Yep. So I think that is all I played this week. Yeah, that's pretty much all I played this week.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about what I've been playing.
Sounds good.
Not terribly exciting. I did see a movie too. Maybe I'll talk about that. But
I watched a big pay-per-view with John Cena and everything, and I don't know if the memes have made its way to you, but I've been seeing other people that have been seeing the John Cena memes from what happened during Elimination Chamber this weekend, which I did watch live when it was going on. Yeah, I've been seeing like people posting like pictures of John Cena making this face and then saying stuff like, "Hi, I'm a fan of Kingdom Hearts. Can you explain this to me?" As if it was Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. And then like they get some wild explanation, which is correct, but it's like, what the fuck? And because they don't understand it. And yeah, well, no, not specifically that, because like it is such a wild thing. I'm just gonna say it. So John Cena as a character in wrestling has
Mhm.
always been a good guy. For 25 years, he has always played a good guy. He has never been a heel, as they call it, which are the bad guys in wrestling.
Mhm.
Heels are more cocky, assholish people that want their way and that stand in the way of like baby faces, which are the good guys. Just wrestling terminology, anyway.
Okay.
And John Cena this weekend turned heel for the first time in 25 years,
Mhm.
and it's a really big event that like made massive waves even in communities that have no idea what the fuck like wrestling is, because it's something that like transcended that essentially. uh
Mhm.
and it was nuts. So like, for example, I saw someone being like, hey, I mentioned the Kingdom Hearts thing. They're like, "Can you explain this to me as a Kingdom Hearts fan? What is going on here?" And then like the reply was like, "It would be like if Sora killed Roxas." And they were like, "What the fuck?" And it is that kind of level of extreme because, again, it has been 25 real life years that he has never been a bad guy in wrestling, and he had a moment this weekend where he went like full on I am the villain now mode, and he's like playing it up and hamming it up a lot. Like, for instance, he went to the after event press conference, which is normal for wrestlers to do a lot of the time. When wrestlers go to these press conferences, they either speak in character or they'll speak out of character if they want to be more open about things. He went to the press conference, took the microphone, picked it up, acted like he was going to say something, and then just dropped it on the floor and walked out the room. And it's like, oh shit, this man's actually playing a bad guy now. Okay, I'm excited to see where the hell this is going. So like, I'm very excited because I always wanted to see John Cena as a bad guy. So this is really exciting to see now. And this is his retirement tour. So after 25 years of never being a bad guy, on his last year in wrestling, he is going to play the villain.
Well, that's probably why. Probably like if I'm gonna do it, I want something good. Let
Yeah,
me out.
exactly.
Mhm.
So, and I saw like fucking fan art because, if you think about like John Cena or The Rock, they're always people that do like the Make a Wish Foundation things, and I saw like
Mhm.
fan art that had those two together because they're both bad guys now, and it had their tag team name as the Break a Wish Foundation.
Oh, jeez.
And then like I saw another one where it had like John Cena grabbing a kid with cancer and shouting at him, "Give up." So fucking funny. Yeah, so yeah, that was just something really big that happened this weekend in the wrestling space that kind of went on beyond it. So I didn't know if you saw it, but yeah, you'll
I
probably
haven't
start
seen any of
seeing
it.
like reactions of a very angry Cena face in the future because it's being memed to hell now everywhere. So yeah,
Yeah, it's only a matter of time then.
it's absolutely only a matter of time. Yeah, there you go.
Um,
I'm done with that. That was my actual weekend. That is what I actually did.
okay. All right. Well, for me, continuing my old game tour,
Hmm.
and I started up Kirby in the Forgotten World. Land? Something. Whatever. Kirby in the Forgotten something. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, so that was the Switch 3D Kirby that came out a couple of years ago. Uh, this game's excellent. I know we talked about it when it came out. I still think that this is. I don't remember what actually. I don't remember what my opinion was completely on the time. Like I know I really liked it. I think it's an excellent game. But I was when I was playing this time, I was like, oh, this is definitely like I think one of the best Kirby games. I love this game. Uh, hey, they do a really good job with 3D Kirby. I think prior to this, the closest we had was Kirby 64, which I think was like 2.5D. Uh, this works really well. It's very smooth. It's
Hmm.
very responsive. My biggest problem with Kirby 64 was that it was really fucking slow. Like Kirby moved like molasses, no matter what he was doing. So definitely, he's much more on pace with like his normal 2D versions, and he's got great power ups. There's a great level up system in there. The music's great. I think that graphically, I mean, not like Kirby's like needs any like wild textures or anything, but uh, Kirby looks really good. I think like as a whole, and as does like the presentation of the game. Um, you played this game, right?
Which one?
Kirby and the Forgotten Land world, whatever it is.
Yes. That the one on Switch, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I did play it. I did not finish it, but I did play a lot of it. It was very fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely one of the best ones. I forgot it has a co-op mode. Not that I ever played it, but it reminded me a lot when it was like starting it up. But yeah, so I've been chugging through that. It still plays so nicely, and it's like there's just some like the challenges in each of the levels I thought were like really well thought out because you have those hidden waddle dees, but then there'll be some like extra challenges like find all of the let me see, light all of the lamps in this level, or get through this area without making a wrong turn in the maze. These things will be hidden to you when you start, but as you progress through, if you figure it out on your own, it will unlock and give you a waddle dee, or it will, when you beat the level, it will slowly start to reveal some of the hidden ones as you go through. So I think that's great. The waddle dees are used kind of as like a means to progress. Like the more you unlock, the more things you have unlocked in the town, which is pretty cool. All of Kirby's power-ups are upgradable, and you have to spend some money. Well, it's got like a kind of like a two-step process. You have to get a scroll to upgrade it. Then you need some money and like these special crystal stars to do it, which you get by completing challenges. So it just has like a nice progression on that side of things. And I think you can level up each of the power-ups twice, I want to say. I've not finished it again yet, so I don't remember how it is. I'm like halfway through it again from this playthrough. But yeah, it's just a nice. This is like a nice guilty pleasure game. This is kind of the same up with how I feel with some of the Mario platformers over time. Like it plays so nicely. It plays so well. It's not a terribly long game. It's not super challenging, but it's a lot of fun. And you have there's lots to kind of do if you want to play around with it. So definitely highly recommend it for anyone that's not played it yet for whatever reason. Because I do think it's one of the best Kirby games that's come out in like generations. If not one of the best. So, yeah, so I highly recommend that. So there's that. I may or may not talk about it again, depending on if I end up spending a significant amount of time on it. So we'll see. We'll see how it is.
Okay.
But that's where it is. Otherwise, I went and saw The Monkey this weekend. So
I want to see that movie so bad. Was it good?
I liked it. DJ did not. So
he doesn't like horror movies, though, right?
No, he loves horror movies.
Oh, okay.
He's probably more like you in terms of horror movies. But I don't think he knew what to expect going into it. I think that was the problem. Because, it's like, if you go in, he was expecting like a bloody, gory movie. Like, I think he was expecting something more like Saw. And this is not Saw. This is like a dark comedy. So I really liked it because I thought it was funny.
I'm still expecting some blood out of it. Like,
there's a lot of blood. A lot of really funny, bloody scenes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I want. That's what I want. A comedy horror is what I got from the trailer, and I was like, hell yeah, that looks good.
Yes.
Especially when in the trailer she's about to jump in the pool and he just like knocked down the fucking electrical wire. He's like, no, don't do it. And then like it cuts off the trailer before she lands in the pool. And I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen there. If like maybe it's a fake out or whatever, but I still want to see what happens there.
The funny thing is, I was gonna use that as an example of things that kind of like how the movie is pretty gory and stuff. Yeah. So it's exactly like you said. I didn't actually see the trailer. I don't think so. I did not. I was surprised by the whole movie as I went through it.
Okay.
Yeah. So she goes to jump in the pool, as you say, and then as soon as he's like, no, she jumps in, and then she hits the water and explodes.
Oh my god! I'm so happy. So happy.
And so like, there's blood everywhere. I think he gets hit by her leg.
Oh man, this is hilarious.
Yeah, and I think he has to pull like part of her like finger out of his mouth, like splintered off. Like
I think Katie and me are gonna really enjoy this movie.
I think you will. Like this definitely seems like something more that like you were there. Like I said, I think for DJ, like I think this is one of those things. Like if he had gone in with the right expectations, I think he would have liked it. But because he was expecting more like torture porn as opposed to like a funny movie, like. Yeah,
Terrifier, that sort of shit. He was expecting like that.
Yeah, Terrifier is like his favorite. Like
I wasn't expecting that, but I also love Terrifier. But I can look at a movie and be like, no, this isn't that. Like I feel like the new I don't know if you've seen the trailer or anything for the new Final Destination, but that feels like it's gonna be like the Saw kind of movie. That shit looks gruesome the way they
Yeah.
like did that first
Oh
trailer
yeah,
when they
yeah,
like
yeah.
he was being lifted up by the fucking by his nose ring and in the fucking fan and everything, and that shit looked wild. I'm very excited for that one. But yeah, that's the thing that I think DJ will probably end up liking a lot if they nail that one the way it should
Yeah.
be.
Although he's already like after we went to this one, he was already nervous about that. So,
Mm-mm.
but I described it afterwards. I'm like, it's just like this movie's like funny Final Destination. Like it's like Final Destination, except the comedy is like notched up, and like the deaths are just like ridiculous. They're like Final Destination deaths a lot of times, but they're ridiculous.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
so and even too, there's like montages where people are just like dying in just ridiculous ways in like really quick succession.
Oh, you know what that
So
makes me think of? What was that movie? Urban Legends. You remember that? Urban Legends. Is that it? Is that the
yeah,
movie?
familiar. I've
Yeah.
never seen it, I don't think. Don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah. That's the one. That's the one that makes me think of what like this monkey movie will be. Like very campy, like yeah,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
I think this is a movie, like I don't think it really did well in the box office, but I
Hmm.
think this is a movie that people like years down the road will like it will be like a cult classic kind of
Nothing's
thing.
doing well in the box office right now, to be completely honest. I
Mhm.
think a lot of movies are flopping because of okay, well, some are just bad, specifically Disney films. But what I think is causing a lot of this is that post-COVID, like being able to get anyone back into the theaters
Oh
when they
yeah.
know a movie's coming out in like 30 to 60 days on streaming platforms, they're like, it's really killing theaters just in general, but it's also really convenient. So it's
Yes.
like, I kind of I'm in that camp where I was always I have to go see a film in theaters, but now the world has changed for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
and I feel like in general it's also safer just to wait, and that's
Yeah.
really ruining movies in theaters just
Yeah.
in general.
And
So
honestly, it if 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 it weren't for DJ, I would never go see a movie in theaters again. Like I could care less. Like it
mhm.
doesn't do anything for me. It's stupid expensive. Like just for the two of us to go, it's like $60. Like I'd
That's
rather just drop like $20 when it
insane.
comes out and just watch it at home, like in a comfort of the
Yeah.
home on TV. Like I don't understand it. But yeah, if it were me, I wouldn't. But he's just been really bitchy about not going out to the theaters lately. So I'm like, whatever. That's what you want to do. We'll go and do it. But
Yeah, I want to go to a theater at least another time at some point. I need to. It's been
yeah,
so long.
honestly, the
The
last two times I went, it's been pretty empty. Like when we went and saw, oh, because we saw what was it, Love Hurts. I think I talked about that a couple weeks ago.
uh-huh.
Um, and then I think we were the oh no, we were there was it was just three of us. There was us two, and then one random woman that was just sitting a couple rows behind us. And this one, I think there was six people. Like yeah, nobody's been at least any of the movies that we saw like have not been very busy. Granted, I think the last one we saw on a Monday night. This one we saw on a Sunday night. So, but either way, still not busy at all. So, but yeah, like I said, I could miss it. I could care less. There's nothing that is so exciting to me that I'm like, I gotta see this in theaters. Don't care. So, yeah, there's that. The only other thing though I wanted to say though is because I had not seen it yet. I did finally see a trailer for Until Dawn. That actually looked surprisingly better than I thought. It's interesting concept the way that they're doing it for the movie. So I'm kind of curious to see if that movie ends up being pretty good. The trailer was decent. So,
You know what I think the
um,
last movie I saw in theaters was?
hmm.
Endgame, the Avengers Endgame movie.
Oh, that's a
I
long
think
time.
that
Wow.
was 2019. I don't think I've
Mhm.
seen anything since then because like, you know, then 2020 came around and yeah. Let me see if there's any other movies that came out in 2019. Is there anything else that I could have possibly seen? Uh, no, I actually think the last movie I saw was Endgame.
Uh,
So it's been so long.
Honestly, not really missing much. That's nice.
Yeah, I know, but theaters were always like when I was younger, right? For my birthday, I would go to a movie theater and just
Mhm.
watch movies all day. I would watch a movie and then I'd come out of the movie and be like, that was good, and then be like, what's showing next? And then I'd watch that movie. And then I'd come out and then I would start at like fucking like 10 in the morning and I would go until like 8 p.m. just watching movies all day. That's what I used to do because I really liked going to theaters. But yeah, I just like I said, you already know how I feel now that I've expressed that. But like, yeah, I do miss that sort of thing because like I saw like a lot of really good movies like that. And there's sometimes when you're in theaters and like you like just are like, hey, what the fuck's showing right now? And then you just go and sit down and watch something. A lot of the times, that's gonna be a huge adventure because you don't know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. And that's basically what I used to do. So,
we move on to news.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's the Pokemon Presents this week.
Yeah, we watched it.
Exciting.
I watched it. I got up to watch it, and it was.
There's the Pokemon Presents, which follows, I think, the usual trend of most years, where 90% of everything in there is filler bullshit that most people could give two shits about.
Yep.
With a little bit of stuff that's kind of exciting. I'm not going to talk about the filler bullshit. I'm going to talk about the stuff that at least I found exciting. So
I will say there's a new card pack that was brought to the Pokemon trading card game, and that was pretty cool.
Okay, I don't know anything about that, so if you want to add that in, you can.
Oh no, there's nothing to add. It's just
okay.
that was a thing that happened that they announced, and then it came out, and I've been pulling for it. It's been really fun.
Yeah. I still need to download that because I would really want to try it. But other things though that were kind of there, and just I don't know. There's three things I'll talk about. One, super brief. Pokemon Concierge got a season 2. I know people were excited about that, so stay tuned. That's coming.
And the first 4 episodes are uploaded to YouTube for free?
Yes. Or at least they were. I don't know if they still are, but they were, at least at that time. They've been up there for a little bit, so I'm guessing they might stay there. So that's one.
Well, that was announced during the thing, so I think that was them telling people for the first time, because that was the first time I heard of it. I didn't know they were already uploaded on YouTube.
Yeah, they've been up at least for, I think, at least a week beforehand, if I recall correctly. Or maybe they announced it. I don't know. I did know of them being on YouTube prior to the Pokemon Presents. I do know that. I still haven't watched them. I've heard they're great, but yeah, so they should be up there. Second thing, so we finally got our first look at Pokemon ZA. ZA.
Yep. ZA.
Yeah, so we finally got to see that. So it was our first kind of like proper look at it, because prior it was just kind of an idea trailer. Now it's like actual gameplay. So looks pretty interesting, I think. I mean, who knows how it will play? Like, we still don't know a lot. You're in a city. It has wild areas as opposed to, kind of the big land of history.
We got parkour on rooftops. What the fuck?
There are some weird things though, like that weird kind of like elevator thing. Like, I saw someone be like, "Why didn't they just make it so you'd use a Pokemon to get up, or like stairs?" Like,
I think it has something to do with the Switch. It's as simple as that.
I think it's just laziness. There's ways to get people to roof that don't involve just teleporting up. Like, that's not a Switch thing. That's just laziness. Like,
okay,
yeah. Or just they're like, we don't know how we want to do it. Whatever. Because you think about it, like in the previous game, like you had flying stuff, like you could fly pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not just have a Pokemon take you up there? No, just gonna teleport up. And even too, when you went, there was like a couple sections, I think, where you can go up onto a rooftop of buildings in the previous game. They had stairs and doors just like normal. So I don't really know why they needed that weird teleport thing. I don't think it's weird. A lot of people are complaining too. The city kind of looks boring, but I think it's too early. We really have not seen enough to see kind of like what it's like.
I think it looks great, honestly. I think the whole game looks like it could be very good. There's
I'm
there's
really
some issues that I noticed instantly with some frame rate things, but that's the Switch for you. And if this is playable on Switch 2, which I'm pretty sure it will be, that might solve that problem. So
I mean, it should be. The game is definitely coming out after the Switch 2, like almost guaranteed. So, because they put the launch date as very late 2025, but also it's the Pokemon company and they are incapable of optimizing games. So, yeah, I don't know. Because I saw someone else complaining about, like, what was it? Someone was complaining about like how the city looked and like the lack of detail, and someone else was like, "It's a Switch," and the person that responded to them was like, "Have you seen Xenoblade? Like, obviously the hardware can put out a lot more than Pokemon company's willing to put into it, but it's always just wildly unoptimized." But like we saw with Scarlet and Violet. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think Xenoblade, like the original at least, is a very unfair expectation, because you're taking that from, you know, decade old hardware and just making a new, like, you know, at least for the first Xenoblade. I think the second Xenoblade looked really bad on Switch and played really bad on Switch. And I didn't get to play the third because I'm still currently in my I'm not playing any Switch games until the Switch 2 comes out phase. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about Xenoblade 3 and how it looks, but I know the first Xenoblade is a very unfair comparison because, like, that was on the fucking Wii, you know?
Yeah, but it was also ported to the Switch.
It was
And
ported to
also
the Switch, but what I'm
it
saying is,
also
like,
looks,
they had.
well, actually completely remade for the Switch, and it looks significantly better with
Oh,
much bigger landscapes, much better textures, much better city areas. Like
okay.
you could say like you know it's unfair comparison all you want, but like even if it is an older game, it still looks fucking better than this game that's coming out multiple years later on the same system as you know like a thing. Like it's um I think like Monolith has shown that the Switch can
I
do a
was gonna say
lot
that's
more
Monolith,
graphically.
right? That's Monolith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Monolith has shown that the Switch
I
can do a
think
lot more technically than there is. But like I said, Pokemon Company just really sucks at everything
yeah,
they do optimization wise. Like,
yeah. But do you think
like
it's because they're bad when it comes to working with their hardware, or do you think it's because they're just bad?
just bad. This is not a Switch thing. It is a 3DS thing. It is like
Hmm.
literally every system they've been on has
Yeah,
just
just
been
like I think back to Sun and Moon, and Sun and Moon ran like dog shit
yes. That was
on the
horrible.
3DS.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, that was bad. X and Y had issues. Uh,
I
what was the other one?
legitimately I don't remember X and Y having issues, but
Um,
it's been a
remember all
while.
the Pokemon games like didn't let you do 3D because they're like we can't do it. This is like they couldn't figure out how
Um,
to do 3D and
you
optimize the
could
game at the same time, so they
you
just turned
could
it off.
you could do it in Sun and Moon, I think.
No, Sun and Moon did not have 3D.
Mm,
Positive. You can just Google and check if you want.
yeah, there's one Pokemon 3DS game that I know had 3D, and I can't remember what it was.
It may have been maybe X and Y, the first one. I think everyone subsequently did not, if I recall. Unless there was an earlier one for the 3DS. I don't even remember. I guess why don't we Google? Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, Sun and Moon did not use the 3D, so you're correct about that. X and Y did use the 3D.
Ruby and Sapphire support
Okay.
3D mode in battles only.
Okay. All right.
So I think it's all of them, right?
Sun and Moon, X and Y. Yeah, that is all of them.
Yeah.
Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all of them. It seems like.
Yeah. But yeah, again, just so wildly unoptimized that they couldn't even figure out how to get that to work.
Yeah.
That system. Yeah, no, I definitely think it's them. But I'm
I
still
think.
excited for the game, regardless. So
Yeah.
and hopefully it will get a boost from the Switch too as well. Who knows? Because we'll but I keep forgetting, but it's like the Switch 2 Direct or whatever is in a month, so we should know
Yeah.
pretty soon. But at least a much better idea of all the stuff that's going on. So that would be nice. But yeah, so definitely excited for Legends XY or Legends AZ coming out later this year. They said late 2025, which means it's probably going to be the Switch's swan song Thanksgiving game would be my guess. So yeah, so I got that to look forward to. And then the last thing on the Pokemon Presents that was actually like I think really notable is Pokemon Champions. We really don't know much about it yet, but it is like the Pokemon players, like people who play it like regularly, are
Mhm.
losing their mind over this game. So
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I really didn't care that much for the champions
no,
announcement.
this is a game changer for fucking Pokemon. This is actually huge. So because this is what everyone's wanted for years since like Dexit. When things when they started pulling Pokemon
It
away
just
from the game.
seemed like Pokemon Stadium, but being able to use your Pokemon from other games. Is that what it essentially is?
That's part of it. So
Okay.
it's got a couple different things. A links up directly to home. So Pokemon
Yeah, I
that
saw
you
that.
have got
Yeah.
can play directly into Pokemon games
Yeah, I
or
also saw it's on
into this
mobile
game.
phones,
Yep, that's another
which is
big
pretty
thing with
cool.
this too. Yep, so it's
Crossplay between that and the Switch, I believe is what they said. So
yep,
that's cool.
yep.
Yeah.
So those are all big things.
Yep.
So those are kind of the kind of the big things up front.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you'll get to play with like so as of right now, there are no Pokemon games where you have access to battle every single Pokemon that exists. This
Okay.
game
Will
should,
allow that? Okay.
yes, as far as we know, that
Okay.
that seems to be what it do. So that's one thing. Two, it also has like a lot of the last couple generations of Pokemon has had kind of like special battle features, like Gigantamax or Terrestrialization or Mega Evolution or
Yeah.
Z moves. This game theoretically will let you use all of them. There's
Yeah,
never been a game that's
that's
let you use.
actually kind of nuts. Yeah,
Yes.
that's actually kind of
Mhm.
nuts.
So I'm sure there'll be restrictions on it. Like maybe you can only use one of them per battle, for your team. Like you probably
Yeah.
can't just like have them all go
You
crazy.
probably
Like,
can't
oh,
just go nuts and be like, yeah, I have a Gigantamax fucking terrestrialized, blah, 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 where it's
yeah,
just like,
mhm,
bro, chill the fuck out.
yeah. Um, so yeah, so that's another thing that's kind of a big thing there. So obviously, they're integrating like, more than just, the quantity of Pokemon. They're including like the battle styles. So
Mhm.
that's huge.
Okay.
Um, like I said, the mobile thing, that's a pretty big deal. There's not been
Mhm.
a Pokemon battling game like that available on mobile. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
actually,
pretty fucking cool. Yep.
yep,
I
and
agree.
that gives access to the other thing that's kind of a big deal too, and kind of one of the Pokemon people that I follow on YouTube pointed out is like there's never been uh accessible means for people who want to get into competitive Pokemon to kind of learn how to do it. And
Oh,
this
that's a
game
very
has,
good point.
mhm,
Okay, 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 okay. Because
yes,
that would be like super expensive trying to
yes.
set all that shit up because
Mhm.
the games alone are like hundreds of dollars.
Yes, there's a lot of different things, especially if you're going to go back like generations worth of stuff. So, so there's a little small blurb on the video that is basically like, um, it like I don't remember exactly how it works, but it's something like Pokemon that are utilized in the game that are not your own cannot be transferred to home. So basically,
Oh,
what it kind of sounds like is the game will give you Pokemon to play with. So if
so
you
like
want to,
rentals like they had in Pokemon Stadium.
yeah, so if you have an
Yeah,
idea for
okay.
like say like a competitive Pokemon team, like, oh, I want to do Charizard and I want to have Mew or something, and you can pick all these random Pokemon, you might be able to use them and make this dream team that you can kind of try out and see how they would be functional on its own. We don't know, but that's kind of what the theory is. There are some very popular uh Pokemon simulation games that are available online that professional players will do that to kind of try out teams from different generations. So this seems like something that may actually let people do that as well.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty cool. That
yeah.
actually is pretty cool. I
Mhm.
guess I could understand why that would be a big deal. It doesn't really appeal to me, but maybe it will because I felt the same way when I first saw the Pokemon trading card game announced
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
So, uh,
Yeah, and the trailer, like if you don't know what you're looking at and you're just kind of like casually playing Pokemon, you'd probably be like, "Oh, okay, it's like you said, it's Pokemon Stadium." But like, so yeah, to a degree, it's Pokemon Stadium, but like you don't realize how badly this series has needed it until you kind of like the stuff I talked through. Like it's been missing this feature for a while. I
mhm.
think the last time you've been able to have all of the Pokemon available for battling in the same system was what Pokemon Moon. Um, and even then, it took like a Herculean effort to get everything in there because not everything was available on the system. You would transfer things back generations if you wanted some certain things. Now, theoretically, you have access to everything at your fingertips. So it would be really. Hopefully, they don't fuck it up. That's the hope. But yeah, at least right now, very, very optimistic. Like I think this is something that I've been saying this for years. That I'm like, this is what they should do. This is probably somewhere they're going to go. And also too for them because they do obviously still, Pokemon tournaments are still a really big thing for the community. So to have like a centralized place to kind of set rules and play things and not necessarily be restricted by the games themselves, I think will really actually open some doors on that side of things too. So Yeah, I think that's super cool. That's like I said, that it's kind of like secretly maybe the biggest news in the Pokemon Presents. But if you weren't really following that stuff, you like it would just be like, oh, okay. So yeah, so overall, I agree with you. 90% of the Pokemon Presents, dumb. I tried to watch as much as I could. I'm like, nope. I'm like, could not care less about this Pokemon Cafe thing. Could not care less about uh Pokemon Sleep, like and the new Pokemon that are coming to it. But like these are kind of like these are the meat and potato things. These two games. So be really interesting to see what they end up doing with that. So yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say on the Pokemon Presents?
No, I thought it was very mid. I got up and we watched it and we were like, that's just kind of shit. But I mean, like, it felt like it could have been an email.
Oh yeah.
That's my main takeaway. It felt like it could have been an email.
Yeah. Or just
Not
really
to,
just
honestly, not to like, not to downplay any of the two good things that we were shown or the other announcements if for the 10 people that care. But it just it feels like, so I remember the Pokemon Day, right? Where we had like a whole bunch of shit like announced and it was like good shit. And then like they did shit that was like, I don't know, I think it was like 2022, 2021, where like just a shit ton of things was happening in that Pokemon Day. I don't remember which one it was, but it was during lockdown, and it was there was a lot of stuff that was announced for a Pokemon Day, and it was like it was pretty hype. It was very interesting, and people got excited for a Pokemon Day. And then like since then, I feel like they're all just wet farts, basically.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. They like I said, most of the time Pokemon Presents, like they really just don't have like Pokemon, I think itself like really doesn't have enough to kind of like support like that whole kind of presentation thing. But next year actually might be a big one because it is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, which they even alluded to in this video. They're like, it's the 29th anniversary of Pokemon. Like kind of like they're like, oh yeah. Um and I would expect next year we'll probably actually see Pokemon Champions. Like I don't they said it's just in development now, so I don't think it will be out this year unless something surprising happens. I expect it to probably be a next year game, and then we'll see whatever the next actual generation of Pokemon is. I would expect that to be next year as well. So, because it should be time. How long ago was Scarlet and Violet? It's got to be like 3-4 years at this point, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because
right.
it came out the same year as Legends did. So it just came out at the end of the year. So if Legends is up for a new game now, it should be
Hmm.
about the same time for that one too. So yeah, they'll be spaced out by a year. So yeah, it'll be exciting. So this time next year we'll be like, oh man, new generation of Pokemon. So I don't have to like starve over whatever weird trailer that they have to show for it. Their trailers are all weird. I don't know. Because like there's a lot of times they're like they mix in like a lot of live action stuff that's not helpful. So I
Hmm.
don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be tons to talk about Pokemon the rest of this year. So
Yeah, I'm
um,
hoping CA is good. Honestly, I'm really hoping it is.
yeah, I'm stupid excited for it at this point. So um, yeah. And what did they say the starters were? Chikorita,
Yeah, that's a weird
Totodile,
one. That is weird. We should probably talk about that
and
because
Topic.
it's
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Why? Why?
I don't know. I have no clue. So I mean,
I'm
last time they did those kind of like new evolutions at the end, like they had that new kind of like final form. So maybe they'll do
I'm
something
guessing
like
because they
that.
want to give them megas. That's my only guess,
Yeah,
right?
that could be it too. I've seen some people online. They're like, Chikorita's been so neglected for years. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, I guess like,
Chikorita's in a box somewhere.
yeah,
Please give me food.
yeah, let me out. Yeah. So yeah, they're very strange, but like I said, kind of the stuff from Legends, the first one were pretty random starters too. Um, so we'll see that. I mean, obviously, we'll probably see the starters from X and Y as well, just kind of like how Legends Arceus did, where they were just stuff that Pokemon that you had to collect like through the course of the game. Um, I don't know. I'm excited. I really like that stuff. And the battle system, actually, we didn't even talk about it too. The battle system looks pretty interesting too, because it's all real time stuff. So it's not because they were talking about how like the moves will have like area of effect and like how you can have to make sure you're positioned right to target like the spot that you want, in case they move or something.
Hmm.
And it has you and the Pokemon moving around in the screen, kind of avoid attacks. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully, it's not shit. It's hard to tell. but it definitely could be fun. It reminds me more of like kind of like the anime stuff, like kind of that. But
It reminds me of oh god, what was it? What was that Pokemon that had like 2 episodes of an anime? And it was like super realistic. It was much more like brutal. You know which one I'm talking about?
nope, no clue.
Okay, hold on. Pokemon anime that isn't the main, that isn't canon. We'll do that. Maybe that's it. No. Damn, what was that called? Hold on. I got this.
What was it like?
So like I remember like during the fight, one of them like bit the shit out of the other Pokemon during the fight when using bite. Like it was like much more like kind of raw and like aggressive like than the normal Pokemon episode. Let me see if I can find what it's called. It had like a few episodes and that was it.
Oh, is that remake of like the Pokemon Red kind of thing?
Yes.
Like Pokemon
Yes.
Origins?
Was that the name of it?
I think that's what it was called.
Let me check. Yes, this was it. In 2013, there were 4 episodes only. But yeah,
that was great.
That was awesome. Yeah,
Mhm.
I really liked that. I feel like maybe the battles will be more dynamic, like they were in that show, more so than like normal Pokemon. That sort of deal. Because being able to dodge out of the way and whatnot, and I saw like there was a part where they did something on the roof to one of the Pokemon that were up there, and I can't remember what exactly it was, but it was definitely different. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Pokemon Z-A. Come on. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so like they were on the roof, and the move that they used while on the roof, they chose the positioning of their Pokemon in like a very strategic way, and also the move was like an area of effect move. So when the other Pokemon, which was a Talonflame, flew towards them and they used the move, it like stunned it in place because they timed it correctly, and it was like really cool because it was like way different than like usual. Like it was about to just straight up attack, and then they used that move and they were able to like basically put up a wall in front of them and stop it from getting to them and defeat it so that it could be captured. It's in the trailer. I just looked it up. Yeah. But yeah, I think having elements like that in this game will be really cool if it's done well.
Yeah, I agree. They could do some really cool stuff with this, so it'd be interesting to see if they pull it off. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay. What about your news story?
Oh, yeah. So this is interesting. A developer who I believe goes by the name of Steel Krill, Krill. Let me just double check, make sure I got this correctly. Steel Krill Studio. So SteelKrill Studio. They made a game. They released it on Steam that was called The Backrooms 1998. It's cashing in on the Backrooms phenomenon that's been going on for a while now. And essentially, what happened was another developer stole their entire game and put it up on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch before they could. They like replaced a bunch of things with like AI art, and they made an AI art cover, and then just uploaded it to those consoles and sold it. They stole someone else's game and sold it on 3 different consoles before being caught. And that is insane that someone can do that in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm honestly almost surprised it has not happened before. But maybe this is the first time we've actually seen like reasonable publicity over it.
So the company that did it was called Cool Devs SRL, which they are the ones that stole the stuff from Steel Krill Studios. And it just really fucking sucks. Apparently you were right. They were able to get it pulled off of Xbox and PlayStation pretty quickly, but it stayed up on Switch for a lot longer. And that will lead me to my next thing. Apparently, according to this person, the whole game was stolen using some program that decompiled all of the assets alongside the music, sounds, and voice lines, and as well as everything else. And then they were able to change all of those things themselves and add like their AI fucking assets instead, and then re-upload it as their own game. Now, I don't know what program this developer used to do this, but I do want to talk about another program that recently came about that does the same thing. So whereas this developer that stole from these people used this program for like nefarious reasons and everything, a new program is out that allows you to put an entire Xbox 360 game into the program, and it decompiles it and gives you a native PC version of the game.
Oh,
so you could like put your disc in of something, say like Lost Odyssey, right? Yeah. And you put that into the program and you start the decompilation, and it decompiles it and then rebuilds it into a PC version of said game. So people have been doing this and been able to rip a lot of games that never got a PC version, and also have been able to preserve a lot of games that would be going extinct due to either licensing agreements or shit like that, or because of the fact that they've been lost to time because they're Xbox 360 games, and now that's been a lot of years now, and a lot of those discs are starting to have disc rot, a lot like PS3 games are as well. So now, whereas Xbox 360 emulation was kind of a little bit difficult because of the specific like branch they used and everything to compile the games, it's now been made a lot easier to at least get the games that were on Xbox 360 off of the system and onto something else where they can continue to exist instead of just being lost to these discs or being lost to this console. And that's really fucking cool. I saw that the first game that had this done, you're going to love this one, Mike. It was Sonic Unleashed, which never got a PC version or any other port outside of the PS3 and 360 because the Wii version is different from those two games. So because of that, people never got to experience the 360 and PS3 version a lot of the time, nowadays, especially since there's no native PC port. But this program allows you to rip games straight off of your disc and make full playable PC versions of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was really fucking cool. Yeah. And when I read this thing about the developer that stole this person's assets and everything, I was like, I wonder if they use the same program but like modified it or something, or if like this program's like made, like that program was made based off of how this one works. So yeah, I don't know, but I do know that there's a shitty way programs can be used for ripping games, and there's a really cool way programs can be used for ripping games. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's all I've got for right now. I haven't really got anything else to share.
Okay. Anything else to talk about before we wrap up?
No, not really.
Okay. All right, let's do it then.
All right.
Wow. Thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Our website, game-crunch.com, has all of our old episodes. And if you want to reach out, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com is a great way to get in touch with us. Brandon.
Yep.
Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. And that's it. My name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online, Flash a Penguin there, or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
In a land called Game Crunch where pixels gleam, magic realms and heroes in a dream. Every level new adventure calls. In this world, no one ever falls. Monsters lurking, treasures to find, puzzle pieces fitting in your mind. Quests to conquer, legends to write. Every turn a dazzling light. Game Crunch, game on, play all night. In this realm everything feels right. Joysticks acting, hearts on a flight. Game Crunch, game on under moonlight. From the forest to the castle gates, every corner a new twist awaits. Dragons soaring, skies of cerulean, villains' plots to be undone. Battle with power-ups in your hand, dance to beats only you command. Champions rise under your command, lost in gameplay in this land. friends together in this digital world. Every move magic unfurled. Trophy stacking every gold star. Reaching far, no dreams too far. Game crunch, game on, play it all night. In this realm everything feels right. Joysticks tapping, hearts on a flight. Game crunch, game on under moonlight.
I do have one shitty purchase I'm gonna make this week.
What's
I know
up?
Stupid. Because I threatened that I would do this when it happened, and it did. It took it 8 months. Well, 9 months. We figured. But I did say if Luigi's Mansion 2 went on sale for Mario Day, I would do it. So I'm gonna do it.
Bro, I never even got to finish Luigi's Mansion 2 because that game was kind of a chore on the 3DS. I don't know if it'd be any different on the Switch, but I don't know.
Everything I've read is it's still a chore.
Okay.
And I don't think it's any better. But there's a weird completionist in me that knows that
wants
inevitably. What?
That wants all of the Luigi's Mansion in one place. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. That's where it is. And I know if inevitably I don't get it, then it will be like, well, now you have 1 and 3, and I'll be like, that's fucked up, and then I'll have to do it. So yeah. So I'm just
I don't have the even number. I need that one.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the weakest of all of them. But maybe there's that. Maybe
Oh,
it'll be
you know
better
what
on
I
the Switch too. But
to mention? I just saw it.
Yeah.
The remake of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 on Xbox was announced today, coming July 11th, and it will be available on Game Pass day 1. And it has a skater that's confirmed of the Doomslayer.
Oh, really?
As well as Doomslayer demons are in the game.
Interesting.
It looks really good. Like, really good. I'm playing it 100%. I'm so excited. I used to love the Tony Hawk games.
Well, hopefully they keep the soundtracks and stuff intact again.
They already said that they were going to, but they were also going to have new soundtracks, tracks for songs that they can't quite get the rights to. So we'll see which ones they can't. Like last time when they did Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, it was really good. Like even the tracks that they had to replace and put different songs in there, the ones that they chose were really good. And I loved Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 remake. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that they can still nail this one. This came out of nowhere. They announced it today, and then they were like, "Yeah, it comes out July 11th, and it's on Game Pass." All right, see ya.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Interestingly, I did see. I know there's definitely there's some room for discussion on this side of things, but I don't remember if we talked about it when it was actually news. But I remember some musician got offered a couple $1,000s or whatever to license their song for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Theft Auto 6? Yeah, no, it was pennies. It was not very good. So I think they wanted 10 they offered them 10,000 or something. And that would give GTA also the royalties of the song, and it would have really fucked over that artist if they would have accepted it. Because their music would have been able to been used in any trailer or anything for Grand Theft Auto 6, and then they wouldn't have seen a penny from it because of the upfront, only $10K that they were being paid up front, which is not very good in the grand scheme of things.
Well, no, I understand that side of things, and also, so I did not know about the ability to use it in commercials and stuff. That's a different thing.
I think it's literally it gave them the rights to use it in anything to do with GTA 6. Yeah, and that's when the person was like, "Yeah, no,
that's
I'm not
more
doing that."
Problematic. But I would say, though, on the flip side, though, because it was I want to say it was an older song, something from the 70s or something. And
let's check. I can just check real quick. GTA 6 artist. Yeah, I'm sure I'll figure that out. Denies rights to use music. I'm sure I'll figure it out that way. Okay. Here we go. I don't know.
Oh,
Heaven 17 is a. Okay, hold on.
Did you see? Are you looking at this Reddit post?
No.
Oh,
let me see if I can find
interesting. So here's actually what this person says. So this person says, GTA 6 music licensing controversy put into perspective. So like the offer was actually $7,500 per band member. It's come to
Okay.
$22,500. And it says not only that, but Rockstar would also have to pay the publisher, which actually brings the cost up to $45,000.
For those claiming H17 should have accepted the extremely low offer for buyout of Temptation and GTA 6, claiming increased exposure. An extra 1 million streams generates a writer a 1K each. Okay. 75K buyout or no advance required for a reasonable royalty. Okay. Let's see what.
But anyway, so yeah, the way I look at it with this kind of thing,
Mhm.
yeah, it was a song
Yeah.
from the 80s.
Yeah, it was.
But anyways, so and they say here too, what is it? So his counter offer was $75,000, which is $15,000 above the asking price for current top charting songs. And so it's added in the publishing costs, and that would have brought it up to $150,000
Yeah,
for a song that was
would be
popular
crazy.
4 decades ago.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, you know, there are some things where you're like, okay, if someone's like, hey, you want to do this thing for free for me because, you know, exposure, yeah, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. Don't do that. But if someone's like, hey, we want to pay you basically $45,000, which granted, you know, you're going to get more money from like other places if they're like properly licensing your song for like a trailer or something, maybe, where it's like very featured, you know, to have this kind of exposure to an audience that would never, ever, ever otherwise hear your song, it's actually kind of a big deal. Like, I think he's crazy for turning it down. Yeah, it might not be exactly what he wanted, but hey, you think about it, Rockstar licenses hundreds of songs for Grand Theft Auto. Like, unreasonable to think that they're going to pay $150,000 per song.
So I think another way to look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the 50K is a fair offer. That one is for like the price. But another way to look at it, like, is if your song's in GTA, like for instance, like GTA 5, I've heard people call like "Living in a Box," "Living in a Cardboard Box," like the GTA 5 song. So like it gets associated with GTA 5 more so than it does the actual artist. And because of that, even then with exposure, the exposure is just coming back into GTA 5 and not the actual artist. So they're getting nothing out of it at the end of the day. They're really getting nothing. So it's
you're saying the artist is not?
Yeah.
Well, no, think about it a different way. So like think about like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What was that fucking song that would play like all through the last season?
I do not remember.
Do you know what I'm talking about? That song from the 80s that nobody heard about before the show? And then it jumped to the top of the charts like 40 years later?
Yeah, you're right. And then also during the pandemic, there were several songs that no one heard of, but like TikTok brought them to like the mainstream and shit. And then, yeah, I mean, I get that. I think there's a fair way to look at it. And then like, there's also, if he was actually asking like $150,000 like dollars, that's insane. That's not the kind of price that you should be asking for. But like, I also think that if you're allowing any kind of use of said song, that's when you got to look at it and go a little bit deeper, because like I was saying before, if it's true that they would have been able to use it for like commercials and ads and stuff like that, that's another whole can of worms then. Like the exposure doesn't matter when it's being played like 20, 30, 40, 50 times, you know, every month on this channel, that channel, and the other, because it's associated with Grand Theft Auto 6 first and foremost, and not that artist. So like that's what would first come from it, and that's also what people would associate with GTA 6, because it's the song that played in the trailer. And you would see uploads on like YouTube of like song from GTA 6 trailer, because GTA 6 is much bigger than this artist is. So they wouldn't actually get that exposure. That's what I'm saying. So like that's when you have to like rethink that sort of deal and be like, okay,
that's why I said different beast when you're talking about
if they were having like advertising and shit, I think that does need to go up like another 20K, like easily. But like otherwise,
but if it's
otherwise
just a feature in the game, that's and the guy's original post didn't even say anything. It says, I was contacted by the publishers for Rockstar about using, the song in Grand Theft Auto 6. And it like the thing bold says, naturally, I was excited about the immense wealth that was about to head my way.
Yeah, that's really shitty of that person. Yeah. I mean, I don't know this band. I don't know this person. I didn't read all the stuff they said and everything. But I'm just saying, looking at it from like the perspective I was just putting in, if it's able to be used in anything, then they would be getting the raw, like they'd be getting the raw end of the deal there, because it wouldn't be associated with them, especially if it's like in the first gameplay trailer for GTA 6. Nah, bro, that shit's gonna be associated only with GTA 6 then, and then you just got completely fucked over. That's how I see it.
Oh yeah, no, different beasts. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if this was like for that or not, but actually I don't even know if it was for not. But in this particular scenario, it just kind of seems like you just basically like threw away money and a good opportunity to make your song relevant.
I looked at the song they wanted to use, and my initial thought was this is going to be in a GTA 6 trailer. And also I saw a bunch of other people thinking the same thing, and I also saw talks of it being able to be used in a trailer. So that's why I was coming at this from my point of view, because the song's called fucking Temptation. Yeah. When you hear that word, you think that's a GTA 6 trailer. You instantly think that. What is always a big problem in Grand Theft Auto games, if you follow the story, it's the temptation of something. So of course they're going to use a song that personifies that element of the GTA games, and then using that and having all of that, thrown towards GTA and away from you're getting the raw end of the deal. That's how I felt about the whole thing.
I almost feel like too, and I'm not positive on this side, but I almost feel like if they're looking for licensing it for in-game and also versus advertisement, I almost feel like those would be kind of two separate contracts.
They would have to be. They would have to be. And when you look at it that way, frames. Then the 50K is too low if you split it between all of the band members, right? And also that was including the advertising contract. That's just way too low.
Yeah, no, like I said, I agree with you 100% on that one. But if it's just for the radio for Grand Theft Auto, then you just threw away a golden goose. So
I also agree with you on that. I think if it was only a radio song, then it's like, no, I think the asking price right there of like 50K is a fair asking price, and that's where it should be, or 45, somewhere in there, let's say between 38 and 50K, somewhere around there. That's a far more fair asking price if it's just for the GTA 6 radio, and it's not going to play a major part in the game itself. You know.
Yeah. Let's see, and it even says too. So I think I don't remember if I said this. So this post also points out that the licensing cost for most songs is between $15,000 and $60,000, and the higher end is usually for the most popular songs. And they named Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, Ariana Grande.
Yeah, okay.
Like those are like songs that are popular now. Like the licensing cost is generally $60,000. So $45,000 is definitely within that that range there. So the fact that they wanted $150,000 for
that's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. I will say, while we're talking about music, I'm going to give a music recommendation because I actually sat down and listened to a whole ass album like 3 times back to back. Yeah. And we can put this on the podcast. I actually would like it. Tyler, the Creator, released an album called Chromacopia last year, and it is fucking incredible. I highly recommend listening to it. It's so fucking good.
I'll check it out. What kind of music is it?
That's really hard to explain. So it is rap, right? Like R&B, rap, hip hop, that sort of thing. But also it's very concept album-y, where it tells a story, and it has a lot of like soul vibes to it, as well as it's got similar vibes to something where the genre is kind of not able to be clearly defined, more so because like from track to track it's very different, more so than being able to be like, oh yeah, this is just straight up hip hop, this is straight up this is straight up this. There's a lot of elements of rap because that's what Tyler the Creator is, but he mixes in a lot of different things that I think makes it a really interesting album.
Well, you can go see him in Atlanta.
No, I can't. I fucking wish I could. I cannot. Those ticket prices, no.
Oh really? How bad are they?
$600.
Let me look at the ticket
one.
master. I know, that's so horrible. I hate Ticketmaster. No, you could be a row queue for 285,
Yeah,
Brandon.
285 to have a nosebleed and maybe see a speck. Let me tell you about that, Chief.
Oh yeah, those are super shitty seats.
Yep.
Um,
So he's very known for uploading his concerts online.
uh-huh.
He uploaded an entirety of a concert online on his official channel for people to watch of him doing like a performance of the entire album Chromacopia,
Mhm.
and that video is absolutely incredible.
Nice.
He's one of those last few artists that I think really gives a damn about the music.
Mhm.
Like he went so far as to release the album on a Monday because he wanted people to be able to like listen to it throughout the whole week and kind of experience it instead of just releasing it on a Friday like most albums release now, where people just play it in the background and don't actually give thought to the context of said album. So
Yeah.
he's much more interested in his way of doing things and trying to make people appreciate the music a lot more than just beeps and boops, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Fair. What else? Anything else?
I don't have anything else, and I lied earlier when I said I didn't have anything else, but now I truly don't have anything else.
Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna go eat then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I will
right.
talk to you later.
All right, peace out.
That's it.
See ya.